Sorry for breaking that video into two parts, but it was just a little too long for one. I just wanted to show you real quick what we're going to wrap up on the second one. It's success. So let me just give you a shot of what we're looking at here. As you can see, we got it all cleaned up. I did end up doing this other piece here on a piece that I had. And as you can see, no leaks after this drive. I had a leak over on this side before, you can see from that's prior leak, but it doesn't look like it's leaking now. That access into the valve cover, better access without the catalytic converter on there, but nice to see all those new pieces of hardware. The catalytic converter's in there, it's good, and no leak on that valve cover. All right, which leads me to after I get back from a couple of work trips here, we're gonna work on this Sea-Doo right here. Excited to get into that and take the engine out. So coming up is part 2 of putting all that exhaust back together and solving that leak from the valve cover gasket on the 82 air-cooled California emissions Vanagon. It's about hour and a half later. I decided, based on the amount of rust that was on some of those parts, I had all these parts already for Jack. And so we're just gonna put these in Jill and then we'll clean those parts up. But since they're all the same parts, I figured makes it a whole lot easier. And that's one of the great things about Mr. Smith's Garage, is that I've got some extra parts. So what I've done is kind of staged a few things. EGR filter, and I fashioned those two gaskets. It's a brand new one. I'm gonna try and repair the other one for Jack. And then what we've got going here is I've pre-tightened this piece in. I just think it's going to be easier to do it that way. I had the gaskets already. I've got the gasket ready for this one. If you can look up into here, I've got gasket ready to go. Bolts staged. Basically, these are studs. That's going to go on that side over there. We're going to try and get that piece will slide into there. This is attached up there, and I've got my bolts and nuts staged here on the ground, ready to go. Here's my two hangers. They'll go up here. I've got my nuts and bolts there, and then I've got my set of nuts over here for this piece there. And so it's going to go up in 3 sections. This is one whole section that'll go up first. Then we'll put the EGR filter in, and then the muffler and tailpipe will go on last. Let's get to it. That didn't work. First. Let's see. What's next? Okay, don't fall. Don't fall on me. Oh, let me get up there. It's hanging up on this metal. There's a piece right here. It's probably a good, you see that piece up in there? I don't know if you can see that. Let me shed some light on it. See this right here? That's where we're hanging up. I think I can loosen that from the top. Let's go take a look. Loosen that. And right there, and bring it up. This is a great experiment doing this kind of stuff on your own. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down so you can kind of see what's going on in here. So I don't know if you remember, but there's a hanger right here. We're gonna try and get that hanger in there so that it's tight. Okay, so that's in. Now I gotta get these guys tight. And then the hangers up here, make sure those are in. Yep, over on that side. So nice to have new hardware on here. I've kind of cleaned most of the rust off of this and just repainted them with some heat paint. And all this hopefully so that we can solve that leak that we had. We had an exhaust leak in the EGR filter, had an oil leak on the, so I'm trying to get these hangers lined up. I think once it tightens up here, it's actually going to go a little bit. Now, one great thing about putting all new hardware in here, everything is 13 millimeter. Huh, what a novel concept. Okay, not sure where we cut off there, but basically what I ended up doing, if you can see right here, I'm jacking up the muffler just ever so slightly to be able to get this bolt through a hanger. I needed a little bit longer bolt than the one I had. It's okay because it's just on a hanger here. Once I get it tightened up, I'll tighten up that top one, and we'll have this all hung together just fine. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one to tighten. All right. I take the lifter. All right, let's see if I can get the rings. It's just a nope. Look out long, bolt it. Look out long. Just want to get tightened up here. Okay, that's tight. Let's get this one tight. Okay, now we're gonna take this. I'm gonna stop the one that's easy enough. There we go. Okay, so do this one here. Let's go do this side over on the other side here. That's the next tricky one because it's got one bolt up there that's just really a difficult spot. So there's one back in here that's kind of tricky to get to. So I ended up pulling this off just because it was so rusty. Let's see if I can. Okay, get that one. So that one's a pretty tough one. There is a little hole between here, and you can kind of use a screwdriver as a balancer there to see if we can get the thread started. Oh. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is instead of the lock washer, I'm going to use a wave washer, a little bit thinner, but I need to be able to get those threads started. I think I can do it later. Yes, okay, that's started. Now, let's see if I can get enough. Something like that. I can't get it. Okay, yeah, get it there. I think I can get it. Yes. Let's see if it's something that does. See this one. Let's see that will. And this one's on here. We'll probably have those. It doesn't get enough. And then it just vibrates off. Trying to see what ways I can get that little tire so I can actually get it. Okay, see what we're doing. Try to get this section. Can you see what's going on there? Okay. Well, that's think we're done with that side. Now we got to go do the EGR valve. So I think the first thing we need to do is get this started. And there's you can see what I'm doing here. There we go. Just use the stainless steel Helen, just because I just think they're better. One more time. That's in the snow. I end up getting my own margin here. Okay, here's that one. So, oh. Now I got it down through here. There you go. Yeah, that's where I got my last time. There's a right here. Turn that up. What's up? Just right underneath that. Yeah, let's see what you're going to do. Ah, there we go. Let's do right there. It's under that thing. This up. There's this. There we go. Okay, here's one. Get started. Get into this. So it's not people want to do me. Always nice to exhaust. We get that one tight, that one's tight, that one's tight. It's in there. That's tight, these are tight, those are tight. I think the last thing we gotta do is the muffler. Let's go do the muffler.